Today is the end of the week, Friday, October the 4th. Market volumes, typical. All of them were opened above prior day's close and pretty much never looked back other than for the usual selling that takes place at 10 a.m. But the buyers stepped in again at 10:45 and then we continued to move up. Remember, the first 15 to 30 minutes of the day are taken up by the big guys, the mutual funds, the exchange traded funds that are just rebalancing, filling orders, and they're automatic. They're just placed at the open by machines. Then the smart traders step in and start to nibble off some of the early profits. And if the buying doesn't pick up, then the selling continues down. But that's not what happened. The buyers just stepped in again. And the reason for this is that we were simply just oversold, like the McClellan oscillator is showing us. Advancers led decliners by 3-1. And you can see that the McClellan oscillator was telling us that we were oversold and we were due for a move up at some point. We could have had another tick down, but we didn't. We had the move up. So now we've returned to the median line of oversold, and we could continue all the way to zero, or we could churn like we have in the past. Let's see what the charts tell us. First of all, the S&P up 1.42%. I said yesterday that I thought that we would be moving slowly to the left but up, and that we would get rejection off of the gap. Well, we didn't. That was totally wrong. What we had was we were so oversold that we created a new gap. So we're going to move that one down here, and it has to be filled. But we did fill the gap that was created from the big drop, this one. So we filled it. And we continue to move up above three important lines, the 8 EMA, the 50 SMA, and the 50 EMA. So that's significant. We could continue to move up, but we still have a gap below. So I'm not going to make a prediction of what happens Monday. The point is that we are oversold, and we can continue to move up a little bit more. Apple, huge day because there were reports from somebody who's been knowledgeable in the past that Apple has increased their number of units for the iPhone 11, not the Pro and not the Max, but the basic iPhone 11. I think, 8 million units. So that's pretty impressive, and that caused their stock to pop. So I sold more puts. So I'm still being very cautious because October is a month to be cautious in. But I now have 4 short December 210 puts that if the stock were put to me, I would end up owning the stock around 204 or 203. So the amount of premium that I could collect is about $2,700 between now and, let's say, the end of the year, December the 20th. And that wouldn't be bad for my account. As a percentage of that total account, that's pretty respectable. So I'm going to be cautious and trade October cautiously. Caterpillar was up $1. We thought that it would be moving up into the cloud. Actually, I thought from here it was going to go down. It didn't. It's moved up into the cloud now, and we may continue to see it move up within the cloud. GDX had a surprisingly good day because the market was up. The US dollar was not showing any weakness. I don't have a chart for it, but I read that, and I tweeted it out. The US market, the dollar is not showing any weakness. So why is gold up and the dollar not dropping at the same time? So read the article that I tweeted out. It's pretty interesting, and it supports an argument for owning the gold miners, the GDX. So I tweeted that out about 2:30. So we're still moving up. So that was really nice to see, 2.2% in the GDX. T, I'm calling for it to drift and collide with the cloud and get support, but it did move up today. WHR, big day. I thought it would go down. Wrong about that. And we had that pop with the rest of the market. So WHR is going to perform with the market, 1.4%, S&P up 1.42%. WDC, I said that it would come down and touch the cloud. It came close to the cloud yesterday, but today it made that pop. So it's going to move up with the market as well. WDC was up 1.45%, the market 1.42%. Amazon underperformed the market, only up 1%. I said that we would see some sideways motion. We came down close enough to test the cloud. Oh, that's a 1 week, sorry. We saw, there's the daily, not quite as nice, but we stopped at the 8 EMA. So I thought slowly moving up, and with support by the weekly, I think that we'll still see Amazon slowly creeping upwards, especially as we're getting into the Christmas buying season. And Amazon is going to just have a great season this year, I think, at Christmas time. They still don't really have any online competition. Google underperformed the market, only up 1.8%, but up and over the 8 EMA. Again, trading bull vertical call spreads on both Amazon and Google are probably a good thing to do. From a cash position, I am still more than 50% cash. What I did today is I bought the newest preferred share from AGNC that was just issued a few days ago with a face value of $25. I bought it at $25.15. It is a 6.5% dividend REIT, and I have been a holder of AGNC shares for more than 10 years, and for the last 2 years have been purchasing the preferred shares that pay dividends quarterly as opposed to monthly on the stock. And I now have quite a few shares. I've got almost 4,000 shares of the preferred. So that's it for today. Have a good weekend. Let's just look at the S&P on a weekly basis. We were down. Let me get rid of all the alerts here. We were down, yes, on the week. So we've had now 3 S&P weeks that have been down. So today's up day wasn't good enough to give us a week above, we did. We closed below the prior closing. So 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, this week. So we've had now 3 down weeks in a row. Let's see what it's going to take to turn those around.